My subject of today is all of the secret years intentionally hidden from our ancestors to further push them further into the graves of ignorancy. Our black, white, and any other scholars who have went to these uppity schools, whom they will intentionally use these schools as a weapon to weaponize themselves against you. They will always throw their degrees at you before speaking to you. So these uppity scholars want us to believe that the very first slaves arrived in Jamestown, Virginia, on a boat called Santa Bonilla in 1619. This is what the scholars want us to believe. If you go to the Congressional Library, you will find the very first ship ported in St. Augustine, Florida region was named Jesus, captained by an arrogant white man named John Hawkins. In the year 1555. That's 64 years that we didn't even know we existed here in the hills of North America. 64 years will give you 3 generations of kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. They hid these years away from us to transform the African to a nigger. This is the reason we are in the condition that we are in today. And only you can do something about your condition. You have to search deep within your soul. You have to go to the depths of your soul and stop relying on a book that a group of men, no woman was in sight. All the women on the earth, whether they was white, black, Puerto Rican, it doesn't matter. All the women, when this book was being written, were still in slavery. This is the only way you can come out of what these wicked serpents have deposited in you. We did have a language in Africa. We still have that same language in Africa today. Some of our black brothers and sisters, they have accepted this language. They never questioned themselves. They never questioned their mothers, their grandmothers, their grandfathers. Of course, they wasn't going to get the truth out of them, but they never questioned them as to what happened to their language. As the Latino mothers and fathers have always taught their children their native language of their land, Spanish. The Germans have always taught their children their native language of their land, German language. The Chinese, the Japanese, the Brazilians, the Russians have always taught their children their native language of their land. What happened to your names? My brothers and sisters, I urge anyone within the sound of my voice, get rid of that slave name. Go to your local courthouse. Put in an application to have your name changed. You look deep within yourself as to what you want to name yourself. That is the beginning of the healing process. What is your name? What is your true religion? Who is your God? Ask yourself that. In most of the African households, the father was absent and the mother was absent-minded. She knew nothing but what was forced upon her by her own relatives. Her own mother had everything forced upon her. And where did that leave the child? To believe everything he or she gathered from their mother.